Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. What came through right away was there's like a sense of pushing against something. Like you don't want to experience this anymore. So you just keep pushing and focusing on it with intention, with passion, right? And because of that, you're actually attracting it. This particular energy that came through in the last reading and is immediately starting here with just a reaffirmation once you point it out to the divine, refocus elsewhere because you know the divine has it. You don't have to give to it anymore. The divine has it. That then will allow you to appreciate the varying degrees of positive and negative and mirroring and joy and happiness and sorrow that is around you that is actually meant to enrich you through its diversity. But the really dark, the really negative, once you point it out, it's the divine that's got it from there. You're good. You don't have to give to it anymore. And you can handle this. You may be feeling like you're balancing on a needle. Like, I don't know, feel a little wobbly at times. Know that as you go through this process, you can handle this. And it may be challenging at times to not get kind of sucked into the drama of what's going on in a situation or a person or a dynamic around them, in your energy around you, affecting you, because it is affecting you. But it is their path to walk. It is their decision to make. It is their experience to own and fully heal. They can't do that if you're like, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should do that. Hey, you should do this. Even if it's just energetically that you're doing that. There could be somewhat of a learning process here with the divine as you move into the realization, the full embodied manifestation. Oh, wow. Like there's like 4 or 5 words wanting to come through simultaneously there. Fully embodied manifestation of the reality that you are closely working in partnership with the divine in this particular aspect. That the moment you point it out, it's handled. You don't have to feel that false light affecting you, invading your energy, messing with your thoughts, being that really toxic inner critic that isn't your inner critic, that kind of a thing. The divine has it as you move into knowing this to be truth, because it's happened a few times. It's becoming consistent. It's becoming a pattern. It's becoming true. That every time that you point it out, you don't have to deal with it anymore because the divine does have it. Okay. That will make it possible for you to move into focusing elsewhere, to learn how to refine exactly how in your novice, if you will, like you didn't know, you didn't have the knowledge, you didn't have the wisdom yet. It wasn't unlocked, it wasn't available. You weren't being heard, or you hadn't ascended to match the same frequency to be able to really have that affirmed yet. However it may resonate for you, you're now able to focus on fine-tuning and refining the awareness you have of exactly how much your inner being, your energy, can be impacting others that you were completely unaware of before, because you had to really become this phoenix. You had to rise above so much adversity. And there are so many that want to learn from you because you are a star. You are shining brightly in a vast dark expanse. You are noticeable, and that will bring attention to you. Because there are many others that, like new stars that are being born right now, that are beginning to shed all that holds them from shining and condense it down, transmute it, and then they're a sun. They have enough gravity to really pull it in tight and birth a new solar system. A really beautiful metaphor for that. But you're learning. You're always learning. You're learning about misinformation, even. I get the sense that this individual is a very old soul. And every time you incarnate, you're made to forget who you are. So you could relearn and reaffirm and re-own and reclaim authentically the truth of that, of who you are, and not be defined by how others expect you to be and who they tell you are. That's how closely you feel you are connected to the divine. Nobody else can tell you who your divine is. And that's something that has been present in my own life. Growing up in the space that I have, the environment, the place in the United States that I have grown up in, I have been exposed to some Christian teachings. And one of those things was where it was referenced, and I'm not sure exactly where in the scripture it was, that your relationship with God is personal and it is private and it is nobody else's business. That has always rung true to me. Always. Always rung true. Nobody understands your perspective better than you. Nobody understands you like you. And who could you possibly be closer to than that has been observing life through you, experiencing it with you? The implication that the divine knows everything and all has also been something that has resonated for me, that I've never been alone. And that is my personal perspective on it, and I'm sure there's many out there that can agree with that, and some that it doesn't fit for them. There's different caveats and uniqueness and diversity within that, and that is beautiful. That's how this has been made to be. Intentionally. We are not meant to be cookie cutters of one another. We are meant to be unique facets of experience. Intentionally. So you can encounter misinformation. Being this phoenix, this star that has been born and risen above the storm, and you're like, people are looking to you to understand maybe how to find their way. And you have a system, you have a ritual, you have a way of approaching everything that has worked for you. And just because it's worked for you, and I can say that from my own experience, it's not going to work for everybody else. It's not, because we're all different. But there is wisdom. That's why in any reading, take what resonates, leave what does not. There is something there, if it does resonate, that is meant for you to kind of think on, to ponder, to try to understand why it stood out to you, why it resonated. And once you do that, then you can let it go. The falsities, how to find that is not truth. If anything, that would probably be what is going to be the greatest teachings that you could pass, that you could share. How to discern what is false from what is true. Because to be able to be a new star that has been born, a phoenix, all the energies that tried to keep you from shining thought they knew what you were. And then they tried to leave misinformation around you to keep you going in circles, chasing your own tail, because it was in their best interest to be able to feed off of your light and never let you shine, just continue to feed off of your light. So how you found your way through and identified all of those falsities that kept you for a time chasing your own tail can set a lot of other people on a path to freeing themselves. Just because it was true for you in that particular facet does not mean that's the truth they need. They need to maybe just know it's possible. That is enough. To know that it's possible gives you hope. And hope is an incredibly powerful energy. Incredibly powerful. Do not underestimate the powerful love and light present in hope. It is a very galvanizing force that will keep you pushing towards whatever you feel is between you and the life that you desire to live, whatever is keeping you from living, knowing that you can get on the other side of that, because it's been done before, adds so much passion behind you that maybe you didn't have until you knew someone else had already been there, had already done that. Moving into the receptive energy that's being highlighted to a little more specific aspect for the collective tuning in. This has been something that has been co-created from a space of love. There's going to be contrast, there's going to be challenges, but all of that is designed with the intention of fully being able to experience the expanse of all the love that you're capable of giving, receiving, and living in this lifetime. That very thing has been causing some anxiety because you don't know what this other energy has been creating, what they wanted, what they desired. You know what you want and what you desire, but you have not been allowed to know. That is what they've been creating, because you have to be able to live this life fully. And if you know everything that's going to happen before it happens, it tends to take away from the beauty of realizing the truth of it, of living it, of fully owning and integrating that wisdom into your being. So there is anxiety around this offer coming in of this being realized. There's a lot of love in it, though. A lot of love. Keep bringing your focus back to that. That there is so much love present in what is coming into your reality. Because not many individuals get to this point where this reading really is something that they own, the majority of it. That it's resonating truthfully within them, step by step by step. You are now going to be in a space where you're going to be living that inspires others to desire that. So there's so much love coming into your reality. You have anxiety about not knowing, and that is very human, really. That is very understandable and natural. And once you acknowledge that, what you resist persists. That whole, like, once you acknowledge it, it's not going to be something that you're constantly trying not to give attention to, and thus you're giving way more. And so it persists. Except that you do have anxiety, and more than likely the other side of this also does as well. They don't know either. But the love present within it, whatever they're bringing into reality, whatever they desire to experience with you, and you desire to experience with them, both sides of this is going to be good because it's of love. Every bit of it is of love. You have both sides of you really been through it, because to find your way out of that spiral is not easy. You've had a lot of pressure placed upon you. A lot of, likely throughout your lifetime, very not okay experiences that you've had to heal and alchemize and rise above in order to break that cycle of just being kept chasing your own tail. Instead, you have chosen to fly and to just transform everything around you that could desire to keep you in that state of chasing your own tail. Fire transforms. It takes a solid and turns it into ash. It takes a liquid and basically makes it a gas. It creates warmth where there is coldness. These are the things that you're bringing. You're changing that from all the negative that you experienced. It's going to become just as strong, but in the opposite. It's going to be just as beautiful as that was the lack of it. The story that you tell of the dance of the two of you has been and is being guided. There's a divine presence within both sides of this that is supporting, that is helping you both to see one another beyond this very intense just coming out of the freeing of yourself from such a very icky experience. You may be used to, any time you feel slightly vulnerable, having to immediately step into the defensive mode. And that actually is perceived by the other individual as, why are you freaking out on me? Why are you mad? Why are you upset? I don't even know what this is about. I just said this or I just said that, and I need to understand what's going on because you're not reacting in a way that I would expect at all. What is going on inside of you? And that is what you have learned in your experiences, that is the only way to protect yourself, the only way to get your needs met, the only way to draw that boundary firmly in the sand and make it be respected. So there's the learning of how to move out of that almost PTSD state of interacting with one another, to really understand fully that this individual is not like anything you've experienced, and see all the ways in which these experiences have warped how you perceive and relate with the world around you, and that you can choose with this individual to be open to the concept, which this Nine of Wands is starting to go into the inverted. It's that, maybe they're not like everybody else. They are really consistent. Maybe they really are a good person. Maybe they're not just pretending to be a good person because they just want to hurt me really badly. What do they want? Like, it's moving out of that hypervigilance because the story that is being crafted about the two of you, between the two of you, is unlike what you've experienced. In the assertive energy, we had the King of Wands come out upright. This is a masculine energy that is used to holding down the fort solo. Very clearly, they're not used to having a feminine near them that they can trust, that will be just as passionate and creative and lead. It's not lead beside them, it's being able to lead by herself so that she can come to that partnership of leading with him, not beside him, with him. And please do understand that this energy could be a woman in your life who's in masculine energy. So this King of Wands, they've been holding down the fort, the family, the four pillars of the emotion, holding it down, keeping it balanced, holding. That's always what this card gives me, and it's because they're protecting a future. They're protecting that pentacle that came through in the receptive energy that is being offered. They're protecting that future. They're guarding it. And there's a divine aspect with this hanged man here, because major arcana is more of a divinely guided aspect to it. This is not so much free will. This is contracted. It's not protecting it so that it can be offered. Now it's time for it to be offered. Exactly. Yet again, it's the Seven of Spheres inverted. There's no more waiting and watching and observing. It's time. It's time to start working on how you view the world together. What's the lens that you choose to view the world through together? It's your Three of Cups, their Three of Cups, coming together. Your inner unity, their inner unity. Your balanced, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Maiden, Mother, Crone, the divine, your inner masculine, and your inner feminine, in union, coming together. However you prefer to label those, however it resonates for you, because we are all unique. It's the concept of giving all of yourself to one another, and then creating a world that you choose to view life through together. Because there's so many opportunities before you. With the Seven of the Cups in the upright, there's so many ways in which that you two create together will have an impact on everything around you. You're no longer just a pebble then creating a ripple in the water and it affecting everything around you that it touches. Now you're having a bigger mass. It's the two of you creating and being in full, all of you present to do so. Maybe you're a rock. And when your rock hits the water, it creates a huge ripple, but then there's a bunch of other pebbles that come off of your rock that then have even more impact. It's like however this impact may be experienced, whatever metaphor really grounds it into your truth, where you resonate with that. Do not underestimate yourselves, in other words. The impact of all the possibilities for creation that is before the two of you is huge. It's huge. Fully owning the fire within you both, is creating so many other opportunities and timelines and possibilities for individuals around you, not just you, not just the two of you or your children or your friends or your family, but people you don't even know for generations to come will still be feeling the echo of this connection, this view that you guys are creating to manifest the world that you want to live together in. To move from a space of knowing all of you, choosing to be in a state of fun in spite of the contrast, knowing exactly where you will to be and where to go, and that pursuit has always been the truth and always will be the truth. And if you read the information at the bottom or underneath this video, the only thing that's real, that's true, that's constant, that will always be there is love. It doesn't matter what species you are. It doesn't matter what planet you come from. In other words, it doesn't matter. You can always see love. You don't need to know the language to see caring in others, to see pain, to see empathy, to see compassion, to see grief. You don't need to speak their language to see it, to know it's there. That truth is always what is being sought here. It's so beautiful to see that in this reading, so passionately presented. I'm honored and humbled and incredibly grateful to have co-created this reading with you guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. The divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.